Yo, what's up, everybody? So today we're going to be live streaming, doing a Week 15 preview of the Washington football team versus the Seattle Seahawks. I got Juan Gotti in here, so make sure you guys check out his channel. Great Washington football team YouTuber. And yeah, we're going to start with the injury report, give our, score predictions, maybe keys to victory, and then we'll give our stat predictions and talk about who we think the quarterback of the future is on this roster. What's up, Brian? What's up, Hassan? What's up, DeQuavis? What's up, Casper? What is up, everybody? What's up, Scary? Terry, Stan. What's up, Mustafa? Okay, so we're gonna start off with the injury report. So it is not good injury news, obviously, with Alex Smith being out for this game, and not only him being out, but him being like he wasn't even questionable. He just got declared out on Friday. So that concerns me a little bit for next week's game. Hopefully, though, it's all good. Kevin Pierre-Louis, he's out with an ankle injury. I would say that's not as big of a blow as most people are thinking, just because his snaps actually have decreased for us, and he technically is a starter. But I mean, it's more of a problem because Cole Holcomb is also out. That's why it's more of a problem. But if it was just KPL out and Holcomb was playing, I would be fine. But since he's out, I guess it's a little bit of an issue. And Cole Holcomb, that's a huge, huge injury loss, concussion. Hopefully, it happened earlier in the week. Hopefully, it happened on, Tuesday or Wednesday. So he'll be back for next week. We need him. What's up, King Sean? What's up, Johan Parker? What's up, BJ to go? And then our last injury, Jonathan Allen, Peyton Barber are good to go. That is good right there. And then Antonio Gibson, he was limited on Friday, so that is good news. Even though he's not going to play or he's doubtful for this game, it looks like he'll probably be back on against the Panthers at the very latest, the Eagles. So, Juan, what is your reaction to the injury report? What stands out to you the most?
Well, at first, thank you for having me on the show, man, as
Yeah, no
always.
problem.
And second of all, this is the worst injury report of the season, man. I mean, godly. First, we know Alex Smith isn't going to play. Then you have DeShazer Everett gone for the year. Then you have Jonathan Allen, although he's going to play. Then you have Kevin Pierre-Louis and Cole Holcomb both out, both for our starting linebackers. And that's really a big blow, man, because KPO is really came on. And just like Ron Rivera said in the offseason when we first signed them, some of these guys, it's not that they sucked or anything. They just weren't able to get the opportunity to start how they are going to get here. And that's same for J.D. McKissick, too. But as far as the injury report goes, it sucks, man. This is the worst one. Everyone just seems to be falling like flies, and this is at the worst time our playoff push. But hopefully we can get Cole Holcomb back. Something I take from the injury report that's kind of a good sign is that Antonio Gibson actually practiced. Although Ron Rivera did say he wasn't quite there, he didn't seem to have the burst that we needed him to have. The fact that he was actually practicing is actually a plus because you remember when Steven Sims had the same injury, he wasn't at practice for at least a month. So the fact that Antonio Gibson is able to practice and move and possibly run solid, not good enough obviously to play, but to see that he's actually out there. Maybe is it? Do you think he's rushing it back? I'm not sure, but just the fact that he's out there gives me, a chance that he could possibly play versus the Panthers. But I see him possibly come back for the Philadelphia Eagles game. But other than that, DeShazer Everett's a huge blow. I think a lot of people are going to see it tomorrow. Jeremy Reeves, I have faith in Jeremy Reeves. Remember, Jeremy Reeves stepped in well for when DeShazer Everett was dealing with that ankle injury to begin with. So I have faith with Jeremy Reeves. But DeShazer Everett was just coming on, man. He was just turning into that free safety that we needed. A lot of people wanted to get someone in free agency, but he was getting into his bag. Basically, what I'm trying to say, he was basically coming on, and to see injuries affect him, and that it just sucks, man. I have faith in Jeremy Reeves, but like I said, these injuries are coming at the wrong time, man. Especially when we're trying to make our playoff push.
Yeah, what's up, Vance? What's up, Brian? What's up, Hassan? What is up, everybody? What's up, the sports critic? So, here's the thing with the injury report. Obviously, one of the worst ones we've had all year. Normally, last year we had these injury reports all the time. But here's the, I guess, optimistic take, at least for me. At least it's coming at a game that, even if we were fully healthy, it was going to be a hard game to win. this was going to be a hard game to win, and this is not a must-win game at the moment. Obviously, if we win, that's huge because we pretty much clinched the division, right? But I think the Gibson news should be good. I think maybe comes back next week. Definitely, probably will be back by the Eagles game. Cole Holcomb with this concussion, I think he'll be back next week, and then also KPL, we'll see. He didn't practice at all of this week. I want to see Cole Holcomb. Okay, so Cole Holcomb just didn't practice on Friday, so I guess it was like a Thursday injury. So the injuries do suck. The Alex Smith one is the most concerning for me, because if he's out for an extended period of time, I don't know. That concerns me a little bit. We'll see how Haskins plays tomorrow. That's the big thing right there. King Sean, it's not a must win just because we have a 1 game lead in the NFC East. The Eagles play the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are a better team than the Eagles, but the Eagles have like 3 starting cornerbacks out and a safety. So they're kind of screwed there, especially going up against D Hop, Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella. The Giants play the Browns. I don't see them winning that game either. So I don't think it's a must win, especially when we play the Panthers and the Eagles in our next 2 games. So now on to the Seahawks injury report. They actually have a lot of people out. So Travis Homer, running back, he's out. That's not a hit at all, really. They got some good running back depth. Carlos Dunlap, he's questionable. And he did not practice on Wednesday, did not practice on Thursday, and he was limited on Friday. So we'll see. It's a foot injury. We'll see if he plays. That would be a huge loss if they don't have him. What's up, Armin Brown? And then let's see who else is on the injury report. Jamarco Jones, I think he's their backup tackle. He's out. Brandon Shell is their starting tackle. So if he's out, that's good news for us. Demarius Randall, questionable with an injury. And then Phil Haynes, one of their guards, is out. And Jason Stanley's questionable. So they have a lot of people on their injury report. Besides Carlos Dunlap, no one really huge. Brandon Shell is actually a decent tackle too. But if he's out, here's the thing. Our D line could absolutely eat this game. And if that guy's out, Brandon Shell, we could possibly win this game if our D line dominates against a, not so great Seahawks offensive line. What is your take on their injury report? Anything that stands out to you?
Well, obviously for starters, Carlos Dunlap is a huge, huge loss.
Yeah.
And on another injury report that I seen earlier in the week, they had him actually out. So I'm not sure if the one I was reading was off or if this one's off, but I think he might be out, but I'm not sure. But the one I read earlier this week, it said he was out already. And their tackle, I was in Norbcam's live with Oliver earlier, and they said that he was the tackle, if he's not good to go, they're going to be on their 4th-string tackle already. So we can take advantage of that. So that's really the 2 that really stands out to me. They're getting Rashad Penny back. He's making his debut, or they're running back. And I'm not sure if he's going to be getting that many snaps, especially with Chris Carson back. But that's another guy that's going to come back for them is Rashad Penny. But we got to keep an eye out for that tackle because that tackle is more effective than Carlos Dunlap, in my opinion. Yeah, Carlos Dunlap is the bigger name. But our offensive line, especially the interior, has been really solid this season. So if we could choose one to be out, if it was up to me, I would prefer that tackle to be out because if they have to be on their 4th-string tackle, man, this defensive line could be even more crazy than what we expect.
Yeah, and I agree. We'll see about those injuries. Hopefully, Dunlap or Brandon Shell is out because that's a huge mismatch against our D line against that offensive line. I think we do have the edge on that. So what's up, Talon Ho? Let's go ahead and do, our keys. Oh, actually, I want to update on something. So we did elevate Steven Montez and Taylor Heineke, or sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. We actually elevated both of them to the active roster. Also elevated Michael Warren. So we'll see who's the backup. Are they going to dress all 3? Are they gonna? That's gonna be interesting to see who's the backup, Montez or Heineke, because Taylor, he actually started for Ron Rivera and for Scott Turner, I do believe, in Carolina before. So they probably rather go with him because he has some starting experience. And yep, Jeff Badette was out. But there's some new rules today that actually Lamar Miller could play tomorrow if they wanted to. So that is going to be interesting to see if Lamar Miller does indeed play. So, okay, now we're going to go ahead and do our score prediction. What's up, Sean? Juan, what's your score prediction for this game? And then we'll talk about some keys to victory. And everyone drop your score predictions in the chat.
Well, before I get into the score prediction, you were talking about the three quarterbacks. I believe what I read earlier is that they're going to be dressing all three quarterbacks for the first time of the season. But Tyler Henneke is going to be the second string. But we'll see. But I think I read, if I'm not mistaken, that they will be dressing all three. Now, with my score prediction, I don't like I tell you, I don't predict them because it's superstitious. I feel like every time I'm stand corrected at the moment. Every time I don't predict the game on my channel, we win. I haven't predicted the game on my channel for the past 5 weeks, and we've won for the past games. So I mean, I'll predict it here, but I don't know. So my prediction for the game, I'm gonna go out and say 31-15 Seattle.
Okay, so I'm a little bit more optimistic than you. Also, Rashad Penny coming back. I actually want him to come back because I don't think he's that great. I mean, he's solid, but I'm fine with him taking carries away from Chris Carson. That's my opinion. My score prediction, I think I'm going 24-17 Seattle. Here's why. I think our defense, even without Holcomb and KPL, I'm excited to see if Khaleke Hudson gets some snaps. I really am. I want to see what he's able to do. Sean Dion Hamilton, I'm excited to see what he can do. And then we'll see if Bostic, he's been playing good these last couple of games. Let's see if he can continue to, string together these good games. And then, like you said, that's a huge mismatch. Our D line versus their offensive line. I don't think they're going to have a huge game. And I know it's two totally different games, but I mean, you look back at that Giants game versus Seattle, and I don't know, they scored 10 points offensively in that game because they had a safety. So they only scored 10 points, and I think our defense is better than New York's. Again, it's a different, matchup, but I think we can hold them down. It just comes down to how many points do we get and how, because I think whoever wins a turnover battle is going to win this game. So it just comes down to, does Dwayne or the offense turn the ball over? And if we can force some turnovers, I think our defense will be good enough. We'll see though. Let's see. So let's do some keys to victory. 30-16 Seattle, 24-17 Seattle. So my first key to victory is our offensive playmakers have to help Dwayne out. I mean, obviously there's no excuses for Dwayne necessarily, but Steven Sims, you got to stop dropping the ball. I mean, Dwayne did not have a great game. Dwayne did not have a great game against the 49ers, but I mean, he was moving the ball downfield on that second drive, and Steven Sims just drops a decent pass from Dwayne Haskins that would have been, a 10, 15-yard gain, put him into field goal range and maybe they get a touchdown, but Steven Sims drops it, and I think that changed a lot in this game. So they got to help him out. Steven Sims, Terry McLaurin, Cam Sims, Logan Thomas, J.D. McKissick, all got to help him out, and we got to play a clean game offensively. Limit the penalties. I mean, holding penalties just absolutely kill you. I mean, you go from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20. Can't do that, and then obviously got to win the turnover battle.
Yeah, I agree with you on all those fronts, especially with Steven Sims dropping the passes. He's been dropping too many passes, but also on the other hand, Haskins has to hit his passes. I mean, there's no reason why you're throwing 500-mile-per-hour fastballs to Terry McLaurin and he's 5 yards in front of you for all the green. I don't think he would have at least got 30 yards on that play extra after the catch. It was nothing but grass in front of him. And then on the catch that Morales catch that Peyton Barber made, it was a hard pass again, and Peyton Barber, your running back, had to make a spectacular grab just to catch that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see more of the Logan Thomas, beautiful ball that he threw in the 49ers. Let me see more of the pass to J.D. McKissick out the flat. Plays like that shows that Haskins has talent, but then on the flip side, it's plays like the Terry McLaurin, the Peyton Barber, missing Steven Sims on a touchdown. It's plays like that just pisses you off, like poor mechanics. He doesn't know how to read a defense. It's just stuff like that pisses you off as a Washington fan because you want this guy to be good. And that's what a lot of people probably get mistaken, is that we don't hate Dwayne Haskins. We draft him in the first round. We want him to be our franchise quarterback, but it's just got to be like, you have to be real at a point in time. The guy's mechanics is just horrible. So I agree with you on everything that you said about your keys to victory.
Yeah. Quick thing. Let me address a comment, Brian. I wasn't saying they weren't, open. I was just saying they have to be able to make plays for him. Especially, you can't no drops. That's more of the thing I was addressing. You cannot have a drop like that where you have to make that catch when it's Steven Simpson. He's had that all year. You just can't have that. And yeah, I agree. Haskins, he missed a lot of guys open in that game. I mean, Steven Sims was open right in the flat on that touchdown, had him wide open, and just, he looked at Terry the whole game. Fun Police asked a question: do people slip on your field? Well, so here's the thing. Usually our field before this year was actually pretty bad, but I mean, we've been working on it a lot, and this year it actually looks really, really nice. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. That's a good question, though. That's a good question. They've worked on it a lot, and it actually looks a lot better this year. So I would not worry about injuries and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. The receivers are getting open, and Haskins has to make some better reads, but at the same time, they also have to make plays from. Okay, next key to victory, we have to get after Russell Wilson, get a few sacks, but also not allow Russell Wilson to, on a 3rd and 5, get those 5, 6, 7 yards on a scramble. Can't do that. We cannot do that, and we got to get to Russell Wilson, get some pressure. I think at minimum we got to get 3+ sacks in this game if we want to win. What is your score prediction, or not score prediction? What's another key to victory you have, Juan?
Another key victor that I actually put in my video was limit the passing attack. I mean, this offense is loaded with talent, starting with Russell Wilson, of course. But other than that, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Will Dissly, more. It's so many weapons on their offense. It's just crazy, So limit their passing attack, because I know we're not gonna stop their passing attack. So we gotta limit it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get in the red zone multiple occasions. I mean, that's just what this team is capable of doing. So we have to do a good job at limiting, and whether that's double teaming DK Metcalf, chipping away the tight end on certain plays, just do whatever you can to limit their passing attack. And granted, we don't have a James Bradbury on our team, so that's why DK Metcalf might have a better day than he did versus New York. It's because we don't have a James Bradbury, but at the same time, we have a Kendall Fuller. But in my opinion, I would prefer to put Darby on DK Metcalf and then Kendall Fuller. But back to what I was saying is we got to limit the passing attack because they have so many weapons. And how do you limit the passing attack is by getting pressure on Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Suffocating the wide receivers. Play up in their face. Don't play 10 yards off. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's our scheme, and that's most likely what we're going to do. But that's just a key to another key to victory is just limit the passing attack.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta limit these big plays by DK Metcalf and others. Have to do that, Ty Lockett, like you said, because that's what they do. Especially with Metcalf, they try to go deep a lot. So yeah, gotta limit that. Another key to victory I think we got to get J.D. McKissick involved a little bit more, both in the run game and pass game. I mean, he had 11 or 12 carries for 68 yards. I mean, the guy's averaging 6.2 yards per carry, and you're not continuing to give him the ball. And then also what I would say is get him involved more in the pass game too. And I know that's not Haskins' forte, getting these guys, checking down necessarily. But I want to see McKissic more involved in the pass game. He only got 2 catches last week. What's up, Awesomeness Sports? He ran the ball really well, like you said he would do. Only got 11 carries, though. And this run defense is pretty good. But I just think that their run defense is good. But I just think we got to get him a little bit more touches in general. I want to see 20. I want to see like 17 plus touches for J.D. McKissic.
Yeah, I do too. I want to see more touches from J.D. McKissic. I actually thought that he had a solid game last week, but
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys, this J.D. McKissic role was a backup when Antonio Gibson was here, but his role literally increased by 100 when Antonio Gibson went down. So, and he seems like he can embrace the workload. So, get him more involved in the passing game, and I feel like we did a good job at that once again. But obviously, when the quarterback issue happened, it kind of went away. But I want to see him get the ball more carries, as far as running the ball too. You know what I'm saying? He showed his ability to run because I believe he had 67 rushing yards last week. So he showed his ability to be able to run and get him more involved in everything. And this is his former team too, by the way. The Seattle Seahawks is one of his former teams. So get him involved. Try to use him everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Basically what he's been doing. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, that's another revenge game. They got Quentin Dunbar on their team. So gonna be interesting to see how all of this works out. So now we're gonna start to do some stat predictions for this game. So Juan, I'm gonna start with you. What's your stat prediction for Dwayne Haskins?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 19 for 33 touchdowns. No, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Sorry, guys, but Haskins, man, I just don't have any confidence in him. And hopefully, he proves me wrong. But yeah, so 19 for 33. Let's say maybe 185 yards and 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions.
Okay, so I'm a little bit optimistic. Again, here's why. And I know it might just be me being bullish, but I think obviously Haskins did not play good really at all against the 49ers. And I think part of that, you look at every game he's played as a backup, coming in, he's been terrible, been a lot better as a starter. When he has a full week to prepare, that's like happens for mostly for these guys. But I think, especially in Haskins' case, he needs that. He's a guy that if he doesn't have a full week to prepare, he's not going to have a good week. And I know everyone in this fan base has kind of given up on Haskins. And I haven't necessarily given up on Haskins, his future. I just don't think his future is in DC. But I think he's going to have an okay game. I think he's going to have an okay game. I think the Seahawks have allowed, on average, 290 yards per game passing. We don't have Gibson. I think we're going to be throwing a little bit more. So I'm going to say 20 for 31. 20 for 31, 211 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Because everyone talks about him turning the ball over a lot. It's really not the case. He only has 3 picks on the year, and that was all in one game. That was all in one game. So it was a little bit of an outlier. Not a great game by him at all. So I don't think it's gonna be a great game by him. We'll see if it's good enough to win. But again, this is Haskins' last chance, really, in DC. If he has a really bad game, they might even bench him for the 2 practice squad quarterbacks. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Now let's go with Terry McLaurin. What's your stat prediction for Terry McLaurin?
For Terry, since Dwayne Haskins is gonna be the quarterback, I feel like he's gonna have probably his biggest game. I'm gonna go with 11 receptions, probably 98 yards and a touchdown. But only reason why I say biggest game as far as his attempts or his targets. I should say 11. He's gonna have 11 targets for 98 yards and a touchdown.
So I'm gonna say I don't think Terry's gonna have a huge game. I think he's gonna have a solid game. I'm gonna say 86 yards. I don't think it's gonna be a huge game, but I think it's gonna be solid. I think 6 catches, 86 yards should be. I mean, that's good enough. I think McKissick's gonna be a little bit more involved. We'll get to him in a little bit. What's your prediction for J.D. McKissick?
JD McKissick, I think he's gonna be involved a lot of this game because obviously the injury to Antonio Gibson. So I think JD McKissick's gonna have maybe 9 targets, and I know that's not a lot, but that is a lot for a running back. So 9 targets, probably going to come down with all 9 receptions of him because he's most likely going to be used in the flats and stuff. And obviously, he rarely drops balls that are coming to him in the flats. And I'm going to go with maybe 56 yards, maybe, and he's going to have probably like 9 carries for maybe 72 yards, so a total of over 100 total yards in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. So what's Infinite? He said McLaurin 7 catches, 112. Yeah, I hope, and I hope he gets a touchdown. So my stat prediction for McKissick, I think it's going to be 11 carries for about 55 yards, and then I think he's going to have 6 catches for. Yeah, I think it's going to be 6 catches for, let's say, 43 yards. 6 catches, 43 yards. Now let's go on to. Yeah, the Seahawks secondary is really unpredictable. Yeah, Haskins might. Yeah, I won't be surprised if Haskins has a good game. I really won't. I know a lot of people will, but I think he knows this is really his last chance in DC, and really I think he knows that more than likely he's not going to be the quarterback of the future for Washington. But I think he knows that hey, if I string together a game or two here, that's pretty good. I think that a team would trade up or trade for me and maybe have me play in a couple years once someone like Big Ben, Drew Brees, once they are done. I think that's where Haskins' mindset is. And, hopefully he has a good game. And I think he's going to play better than a lot of people think. So now let's go ahead. Who do you want? Let's do Logan Thomas. So Logan Thomas had a solid game last week, had 43 yards. I'm going to go ahead and say, 6 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown. 6 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, before I get to I was reading some of the comments here. What is his name? Armin Brown. He says that I have zero faith. I mean, guys, come on, man. Like, obviously, I want us to win, but we gotta be real, man. We're missing our starting quarterback. We're missing 2 of our starting linebackers, man. I have faith, and I hope Dwayne does good. But like, come on, it's not looking too pretty. Also, what did he say? Let me see. Oh, Tono says he thought I loved Haskins. Man, you guys know I was the biggest Haskins fan this offseason, but I just didn't see this coming. But now times change, you know what I'm saying? And I still want to I want to see Haskins do great, but it's just like I don't have faith in him, man. Because what does he have? What has he done for me to have faith in him? You know what I'm saying? But back to the stat predictions for Logan Thomas. I'm similar to you. I'm gonna say 7 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. But I believe those 42 yards are gonna be big yards, and he might even go over that well over that because Haskins loves to throw to his tight ends. So maybe he even go over that. But I'll say 42 yards.
Yeah. And yeah, I think again, guys, Haskins is gonna play. I think he's going to play better than he did last week. I just hope he doesn't press. I hope he doesn't press. Let's, get started. Just play a solid game, dude. That's all we need. We don't need a big game from Haskins. That's the thing. We don't need a big game from Haskins. All we need is for him to not turn the ball over and make a few good throws. That's all we need from Haskins, and I think he can do it because he's had a lot of games this year where he's thrown 1 touchdown, no interceptions, or a lot of games last year too. That's what he needs to do, and he needs to throw in, make a few big plays. That's what I need him to do this week for us to win. Infant, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Says no Washington football turnovers. Washington football team wins. I totally agree with that. I think I looked at a stat. I think this year we are undefeated when winning the turnover battle, and the Seahawks have lost every single game. They haven't won the turnover battle. And so, I mean, that's right there. Simple formula. Don't turn the ball over. And hey, Russell Wilson, as good as he is, Russell Wilson, one of my favorite players in the NFL, you know, depends on what his weapons are and what team he's on, but he's no doubt a top 3 quarterback. And if he can throw some interceptions, I think he has 12 on the year. Maybe he throws an interception or so. I don't see him necessarily fumble the ball, but we just got to force a turnover and not turn the ball over. And Washington football team wins 17-13 is what Infinite predicts. Hey, hopefully a win is a win. I don't care how it comes. I don't care if it's 3-0, 2-0. If we win, that's all. That's all I want. Fun Police says your defense is top shelf. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, we're coming along. We'll see this game. We've had a bunch of injuries this year, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Christian, I would not mind a first-round linebacker. Okay, so who do we have left? Let's go to – yeah, I don't think the Giants are beating the Browns. Colt McCoy is playing. They have James Bradbury is out. Who else is out? They have Evan Ingram is questionable, so they got a bunch of injuries. So now on to, let's say, Cam Sims. So, I don't know. I think Cam Sims and Dwayne don't really have that connection. He doesn't. They don't really have it. I think it's more because Haskins was playing with the first team in training camp, and Alex Smith and Kyle Allen were playing with the second and third team. So I'm gonna say 3 catches for 44 yards.
So once again, before I get into my prediction, I seen the comment section, and BJ said that I said Dwayne's gonna have the same jump as Mahomes. I didn't say that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't say he's gonna have the same jump as Mahomes. I said he could be better behind Alex Smith because look at what Alex Smith did for Mahomes. I literally said it on the stream. We were on the stream. I said he's not gonna be nowhere near Mahomes, but Alex Smith mentoring him could help him be better in the long run. They don't even possess the same play styles, or how could they be similar, or how could he have the same jump as a Mahomes? So come on, bruh. And then Armin said that I have to look at the Seattle Seahawks passing game. I've seen their passing game, and in my video, I said they had one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. In fact, they give up almost 300 yards per game with the passing attack. But you guys got to understand, put your pride aside, man. Like sometimes we want Haskins to do. You got to be real. You got to stop being a fan for 1 second and realize, man, we could be in a rabbit hole if Dwayne Haskins doesn't perform. Need him to perform, especially from how he's performed in the past. If Dwayne Haskins showed us something where he's a good quarterback, and I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback, but if he was a good quarterback, he wouldn't have never got benched. It's a reason why he got benched, because he wasn't giving us what we needed to win. So it's not that I don't have faith in the guy, but we got to be realist as a fan that maybe he just doesn't got it. Maybe he just doesn't. So I want Haskins to do good, but come on, man. We got to be real at a time point. So with back to the stat prediction for Cam Sims, yeah, like you said, I don't think they have the biggest connection. So and Cam Sims was really tailed off towards the back end of the second half of the season. So I think that he's gonna have maybe 4 catches for 35 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna have a huge game, but we'll see. And guys, we're all fans of this team, and we both want them to win a lot. I mean, and hey, I said I think Haskins is gonna have a solid game. I didn't say he's gonna have a huge game, but I said I think he's gonna do enough to win us this game. We'll see what he does. I think this is my last time. I keep telling myself, but I think it's my last time putting my faith in Dwayne and thinking he's going to do – I know a lot of people don't, but I think he's going to have an okay game. This is my last time, though, that I'm really going to put my faith in him. Let's just hope again, we don't need a huge game from him. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, as long as he doesn't, we're going to be fine, in my opinion. So now let's go on to who else do we have? Steven Sims. Okay. So I just think Steven Sims, I think he's going to have one of these breakout games. I just don't know if it's going to be this week. I'm going to say I'm going to say 4 catches, 44 yards. And yeah, 4 catches, 44 yards.
I think that's actually big for him. And once again, Almond Brown, he says I'm double talking. But let me ask you this, Pedro, before I get into my prediction. He says I wanted Alex Smith gone at the beginning of the year. Who in this fan base knew Alex Smith at this point in time was going to be the starting quarterback, even the second string? Who knew that back in August? Who knew that? I didn't know that. I'm pretty sure you didn't know that. Nobody knew this guy was going to come back and be what he was. So you can't sit here and say I'm double talking. I can't see in the future. I didn't know. If you would have asked me, and I'm pretty sure if I would have asked you the same question back in August, if Alex would be the starting quarterback at this time, you would have said no. I guarantee you my life savings, you would have said no. So you can't say I'm sitting here double talking if you didn't. Come on, man. Nobody expected Alex Smith to be where he was at this time and point this year, man. Nobody expected that. So you can stop trying to prove my point wrong or prove what I said. Keep saying I'm double talking. I don't know what you're trying to get out of this. But I don't know if you're trying to expose me or whatever, but come on, bro. It's not working. You can't sit here and tell me Alex Smith, you thought back in August or July he was going to be the starter, because that's BS, man. You can't sit here and tell me that with a straight face. But back to Steven Sims, that's actually a big game for him, in my opinion. 4 catches for 44 yards. I think that's actually too much, because the one, he's dropping the passes. 2, they don't really target him that much. They don't really scheme up plays for him to be open that much. And granted, he was open last week and Haskins just missed him. And you can make a case and say he probably would have dropped it. Who knows? But they don't really scheme up. They don't really use him how I thought they were going to use him. And 4 catches for 44 yards is a humongous game for Steven Sims, in my opinion. So I'm going to go on a limb and say 3 catches for 28 yards. I just don't see him being as effective as we expect him to be.
Yeah, just something's off with Steven Sims. I think something after the injury, because last year he went on a tear at the end of the season, played really well, and the start of the season didn't get many targets, but both games, his first 2 games before he got hurt, over 50 yards. So let's hope he comes back. And, I think him being a wide receiver 2 at this point is a little bit, out of the question, at least for now. Maybe next year he can show us, but at least for now, let's hope he can show us that he can be a solid rotational wide receiver. That's what I want, for him. Let's see, who else do we have? Isaiah Wright. So Isaiah Wright, he hasn't really done much the last few weeks. I'm gonna say 2 catches, 17 yards. 2 catches, 17 yards. Nothing much. What's your take?
I'm gonna go out and say I don't think he even gets a catch, but I don't know, because it's hard. It's like you said, it's hard to predict these guys because we don't really, outside of Terry McLaurin, we don't have an established receiver. So it's like one game Isaiah Wright could go out there for almost 80 yards or 50 yards, then he goes out there and be disappeared for the next game. So it's really tricky to predict them. But in this case, I'm gonna say 2 catches for 28 yards.
All right. Yeah. So, is there anyone okay, no, we did not predict Peyton Barber. Okay, so Peyton Barber, that's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a weird game for Barber. I said I'm gonna go 10 carries for 34 yards. 10 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna say 5 carries, because we only bring them in short yardage short yardage plays in this game. I feel like we're only going to use him for 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s, 3rd and goal. We know Scott Turner likes to go empty all 3 plays in the goal line for whatever reason, but this game I think he's going to have his head on straight, and we're going to use him for short yardage gains. So I think he's going to have probably like 5 to 6 carries, maybe 41 yards, and possibly even, I'm going to go out and say 2 touchdowns, because we're going to be in the goal line and we're going to use him to punch it in.
Hey, that's a bold prediction, but hey, let's see. Hopefully that happens. I mean, again, this game is really going to be predicated on not only just Haskins, but we can't turn the ball over on offense, in my opinion, or special teams if we wanted to win this game, or we're gonna have to, force a lot of turnovers on defense. And yeah, Infinite, that's a good name. So let's go. I think we predicted everyone on offense, right? We got McKissick, Barber, Terry, Cam Sims, Logan Thomas. Yeah, we got everyone on offense. So now on to defense. How many sacks do you think we're gonna have on defense? And go ahead and give me your prediction on who's gonna get those sacks.
I think we're gonna have 4 sacks on the day, and I think Chase Young is gonna lead the pack because I feel like that 49ers game really turned him on. So I feel like he's gonna lead the pack with 2 sacks, and I think Jonathan Allen's gonna get 1, and I think Montez Sweat is gonna get a half a sack, and Deron Payne is gonna get a half a sack.
Okay, so I'm gonna go 4 sacks, like you said. I'm gonna give Chase 1. I'm gonna give Montez 1, so that puts us at 2. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Cameron Curl gets a sack, so that puts us at 3. And I think Allen and Payne will share half a sack each and put us at 4. And hey, it might not be Cameron Curl, it could be someone else, but in the secondary, I feel like someone is gonna get one. Okay, so now let's go to our Payne. I think Payne's gonna have half a sack. Let's see though. Okay, so now on to a bold prediction for the week. So this is actually, some people might think it's very bold considering who we have under center, and some people might not think it's bold enough. But for me, we haven't done it all season. I want to see if you guys can guess what my bold prediction is. All I'm going to say is we haven't done it all season. That's all I'm going to say right there. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to predict it.
I'm gonna think. You said we haven't done it all year.
Yeah, and before you say it, I want to see if anyone can get it. Yeah, we haven't done it all year.
This man says this man Juan makes no sense. His analyst stuff is so bad. Didn't you say Kyle Allen would be worse than Haskins? Once again, guys, did anyone expect Kyle Allen to even do what he was gonna do when he was announced the starter? Did anyone expect that? I don't get it. You guys really think like maybe you guys can see in the future, and I just can't. But that prediction was months ago before I even seen the guy play. So obviously, I was gonna be mad about it because I was a Haskins supporter. I wanted Haskins to start, and I really felt like Kyle Allen was gonna be worse than Haskins at the time because of his track record from Carolina. He wasn't so good in Carolina. He started off solid, but then he failed off towards the end. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't so good in Carolina. Then to shut you up, I came back a couple days later after watching film on Kyle, and I said, I think Kyle Allen is actually going to be really good for us. And then after that, I even made a video probably a couple weeks ago to say Kyle Allen could possibly be the future quarterback for this team. So all of my takes that you're basically trying to expose, and this is another guy, this is not even the same guy, but all the takes that you're trying to so quote unquote expose, of course they're gonna sound double-sided because there are takes that weren't made to be stood on in a way because it was takes that were made before I even see this. No one expected Kyle Allen to play like this before his injury. You can't sit here and tell me you expected an undrafted guy to come out here and outshine a first-round draft pick, Dwayne Haskins. Come on, man. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what you guys are trying to get out of me tonight, but come on, man. You're not gonna outbeat me in a debate, man. I'm sorry. That's not happening. But you guys, unless, like I said, maybe you guys can see in the future and I just missing something, but nobody expected Kyle Allen to play how he did. Did you, BJ?
Yeah, go real quick. Someone did get the bold prediction right.
Wait. Before you say anything, let me guess. I didn't see it, but is it offense or defense?
Offensively.
Because at first I was going to say a kick return or punt return, but I don't know.
Okay, so Mecca Payne got it, and someone else, Terry Stan, got it later. But get a score, get points on the first drive. We haven't done it all year. We haven't gotten a single point. We haven't gotten a single point all year. So Mecca Payne got it, and Scary Terry Stan got it. All those guys, those two got it. Shout out to them. Okay, so and someone else got it later. X Hunter opening. So that's my take right there. I know that's bold, but it would just be so funny if we haven't gotten all year and Dwayne, his first game back, he gets a score. Again, we haven't gotten a single point, not even a touch. It's not that we haven't scored a touchdown on the first drive. We haven't scored a single point in the first drive this year. Hey, so that's my prediction. And if any Seahawks fans are watching here, all I'll say for this game is don't get too confident, I would say. If you guys are winning, let's say 20-7, um 20-7 in the first half, just because we're the best second half team in the NFL. So someone said my takes are terrible too because I said
he's a
and after this, we're not going to respond really to any more of these comments. But because I said that I didn't say we should take a linebacker in the first round. I said we should consider it because, and I don't even know why you're saying this because our weakest position on defense is linebacker. And look at all of Ron's teams in Carolina. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, and Shaq Bear all had an elite linebacker. So, hey, yeah, I mean, we need a linebacker. Cole Holcomb is great, but we also need a linebacker. So I did not say that we 100% need to draft a linebacker in the first round, but I said we should consider it. Also, yes, we should consider wide receiver and other positions, but linebacker too. If a good linebacker falls to us, why not take it? So,
but he's a troll, but he just keeps spamming. He was spamming that so you would see it. He didn't he's trolling, bro. And then the other guy, Armin, is telling me I should have came on with a Seahawks beanie. People just maybe I'm just being too realist as a fan, and maybe I'm just not saying, oh, Dwayne Haskins gonna go out there and throw 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. Is that what you want me to say? I'm sorry, I'm a realist fan, if that makes sense. And sorry, I'm not gonna just come on here and be biased and say my team, although that would be great for my team to come on here and throw 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's not real. So my fault for being too real as of a fan and not being biased all the time. Sorry, my fault, Armin. Is that what you wanted me to do? Did you want me to come on here and be biased about the Redskins? Because that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. And Pedro will say the same thing. He's not like that either. He'll call it how it is, right down the middle. My bad.
Yep. So, okay, and now let's go ahead and do this. So, what do you think? And this is what I'll say right here. So everyone in the comments also can talk about this. What do you guys want to do? Where do you want to get our quarterback of the future? Do you want to look to the draft? Do you want to look to free agency / trade? Or do you want to look at someone on a roster? And someone asked about the weather. So it looks like it's going to be, about 40-ish, 40, low 40s low 40s. And, could be some precipitation in there. Not really sure. We'll see about that. So what's up, Philip B? So here's my thing. I before the season, I was thinking, maybe we go after Dak, and before Cam was doing battles, maybe we go after Cam. But now I'm thinking, hey, maybe what we can do, and this is my best case scenario, and I know a lot of people would not want this, and I want to draft, but I would also not be opposed if we went after someone like Matthew Stafford because he's going to be a little bit cheaper than Dak. But in the draft, what I would think about doing is if we win the division, we're going to be drafting at about 119. I mean, not 119, at 19. So we're going to be drafting at 19th overall. And realistically, you're not getting Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. You're not going to get Zach Wilson or Trey Lance there. So you're going to have to trade up. And I think really, and what's up, Redskin 007, really, whatever you give up to get your franchise quarterback, that's worth it. And I think what I would say is I would consider doing it, like a Devin Bush type trade. Devin Bush type trade where you trade up from maybe 19 to 10-ish. Or if you really want to, maybe top 8, maybe 8th overall, just because think about it. We got 2 third-round picks this year, and one of those third-round picks is actually going to be pretty good with the 49ers. And so, again, that we'll see about that. So we can use one of those picks and maybe a future second to trade up. We'll see about that, and we'll see how that ends up. So, and we could get someone like Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, and he could sit behind Alex Smith for a few games. But also, you don't necessarily want to waste our prime for our defense. So you could, I would not also be opposed to, signing someone like or trading for someone like Matthew Stafford or Dak, maybe. Only thing with that is you can't pay everyone on your D line if you want to do that. So, and then also, again, I said I wouldn't address it, but someone said I was saying I didn't want Antonio Gibson. Hey, I didn't say that. I said I would have went somewhere else, and this was obviously
before
right when the draft happened. Your emotions are high, and here's the reason why. And real quick before we move on, I was a Darius Guice believer. And you have to think, who do we have on the roster? We had Darius Guice, Bryce Love, we had AP, J.D. McKissick, Peyton Barber. That's 5 running backs right there. Did I think we were going to draft another one? No. So that's it right there. And everyone, and the day after I said he's going to be one of the steals of the draft. So whatever, everyone has these. Yeah, Josh Jones is the guy I wanted. Everyone has some misses, but most of the time, me and Juan are right about things. Whatever. So,
well, my bad, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think about where do you want to go for quarterback of the future? And yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to ask. But before I even get into it, I was going to talk about the draft like that you were talking about. No one, and you could go across my channel, Pedro's channel, nobody was happy about the Antonio Gibson pick because we didn't know at the exact moment he was a dual threat, and we didn't know, obviously, Adrian Peterson wasn't going to be here or whatever. So we were saying running back, and we was like, man, what? We already have Geis and Adrian Peterson. So we thought it was a dumb move. Me personally, 3rd round, I wanted to go wide receiver. I wanted Chase Claypool, but I believe Chase Claypool went in the 2nd round. I think he went the 2nd. But if he wasn't the guy that I wanted a receiver in the 3rd round. But I digress. So shout out to Philip B. He said I just subbed to your channel. Thank you, Philip B. But the quarterback, it kind of changed. Remember, I was all for drafting a guy, or even Kyle Allen being the starter next year. But I want Matthew Stafford, man. I do. He's 32, which isn't that young or that old either. And honestly, I think we're gonna be like Seattle, man. And I know we played on this week, but if you remember what they did, they never built it around Russell Wilson. They plugged Russell Wilson into what their roster had. So maybe that's what we need to do. And that's why I feel like that would be best for us to plug the quarterback into our roster instead of trying to build around the quarterback. So we have Matthew Stafford here, and maybe next year we draft a quarterback, or maybe even sign one in free agency, or maybe even keep Kyle Allen, So next year, if I'm the guys, if I'm Kyle Smith and all the guys up front, up in the offense, I'm getting Matthew Stafford. I'm bringing back Kyle Allen, and I'm looking to trade Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And what would be funny is if Louis Riddick, if he got, and I know this is a huge, hypothetical, but if Matthew Stafford, because they're probably going to move on from him. So, and they're not going to cut him. But if Louis Riddick went to the Lions, he's a huge, huge, huge Haskins guy. Huge Haskins guy. So maybe he would be willing to, let's say we throw in a 3rd round pick and Haskins for Stafford. I don't know if that would work, but maybe that would happen. Maybe that would happen. I would like Stafford. And again, the only problem with Stafford is it's already going to be hard to pay your D line with a quarterback on a rookie contract. With Stafford, you're not going to be able to do that. With Stafford, with Dak, with Matt Ryan, you're not going to be able to do that because Chase Young is going to get $20+ million a year when he gets up. Same thing with a lot of these guys, except for the interior. So I just don't think. I think I would rather go with the draft, because you've seen it. You've seen that these guys, they like, and I don't want to compare like every quarterback to Mahomes, Watson, and these guys and Wilson, but a lot of these guys are Pro Bowl type players in their second and third years. So it's not like we're going to be wasting our prime years of defense. And we could even play Alex next year for the first half of the year to develop the guy and still be winning.
Well,
Uh,
okay.
and we could still be able to um, develop our quarterback, and that's what I would do. What quarterback do you like? So I'll give you actually anyone besides Trevor Lawrence because who knows with the draft, but not Stafford. Wilson could leap up. I mean, depending on how Justin Fields does, he hasn't played that great lately. I think today he was playing hurt, but he had no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. What's your take on who do you want?
Well, honestly, Pedro, we played ourselves out of a quarterback in the draft this year, in my opinion. So I was looking to more towards free agency. And like I said, Matthew, that was a guy that I wanted. But another guy that people are sleeping on, but I don't know if a lot of people want him here, is another guy that I wanted or that is starting to grow on me is Sam Darnold, man. Because the Jets are gonna go with Trevor Lawrence. So they're gonna looking to trade him. And another guy that I would like for us to trade for, if anything, is Sam Darnold. But the knock with Sam Darnold is we only have basically 1 year to really see what he has to offer for us because he's in his 4th year right now, and unless we're gonna obviously pick up his 5th year option if he comes here, so we're gonna have to play him right away. And I'm not sure if he's in a state of mind to want to play right away because obviously he's gonna come here, he's gonna have to learn a new offense right off that, and we don't know how quickly he picks up an offense. So obviously, let's throw it out there that the Jets played him. The Jets didn't do him. Adam Gase and the Jets organization fell to Sam Darnold. So maybe he'll come here and maybe he can pick up the offense fast. But that's another reason why I want Sam Darnold is because he's young and he could play. But the knock on him is that we will have to play him right away to see what he got. And we'll basically have to have 1 year to see what he can do. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to want to pay him and to extend him if he doesn't pan out, you know what I'm saying? Or if he doesn't pan out as quick as we need him to. And back to what you said, Alex Smith, I was hyped for Alex Smith. I was going to say, yeah, Alex Smith was going to be the starter next year, and we let our quarterback, whoever that be, sit behind him. But now with Alex Smith's calf injury, man, it's not a normal calf strain for him. So say if, God forbid this happened, but if I was to pull a calf strain, or if I was to have a calf strain, my calf strain would be fine. It would only last a couple days to a week. And if I was playing in the NFL, I would be able to play. But for Alex Smith he's missing part of his calf muscle, so because they had to use it to build his leg, I guess. So he's kind of missing part of his calf muscle, so that's why it's lingering longer for him than it would be from like me or you or just regular people that hasn't hurt their calf muscle. So I'm not sure if Alex will want to come back next year. That's still up in the air. I feel like he'll come back next year because he did all this to come back from 17 surgery. So I don't think he just did all that just to hang up after 1 season. But at the same time, his calf, man, I think it's not as serious as we thought. But for him, it's really serious for him because he doesn't really have a calf muscle in that leg. If it happened in the other leg, he'll be fine. But since having injury leg and then surgically repaired leg, it's gonna be more impactful for him than normal. So Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford. Hey, if we can get one in the draft, maybe in the draft. That's fine in the draft too. But I think we personally played ourselves out of getting a quarterback in the draft.
Yeah. Real quick before I get to the donations, my thing on Darnold is I just don't. For me, it would not be worth it because here's the thing with Darnold. He's what, in his 3rd year this year? So next year he's going to be in his 4th year. He's not going to be even if you think he's going to be better once he gets out of Adam Gase, and the Jets, he's not going to be great next year. At best, he's going to be an average quarterback. So by then, fifth year option, you're gonna have to pay him a bunch, and I don't think it's worth it. I mean, if you're gonna go the Darnold route, you might as well go and draft the quarterback because it's really the same thing, but you get a quarterback you get the quarterback for cheaper for longer. Unless we'll see how much you have to give up for Darnold. Redskin 007 saying thank you so much for the $10 donation. Seattle has serious issues at right tackle. Montez gets 3 sacks, Chase matching him with 3. 9 sacks total with Allen, Settle, and Payne getting 1 each. Defense wins the game for us. HTTR. That would be absolutely huge. And appreciate the donation. Here's what I said. I tweeted this out. I said, I don't know why people think we can't win this game. That's what I said. I think our offense has not played good these last 2 games, and we still won both of the games. We just need 17 plus points by the offense, which is doable. That's what we need. And then we need, and again, this is a lot of stuff, but we need a dominant performance by the defense, which is definitely possible. The Giants did it. Why can't we? So I don't think it's a game that we can't win. I think we have a chance of winning this game. Again, appreciate the donation, man. Armin Brown, thank you so much for the donation. Should our defense play back to contain Russ? I don't know, man, because if you play too aggressive, Russ is gonna run some more. He's gonna scramble out on third down and get those 6-7 yards that he needs to do. So I don't know. I would probably try a quarterback spy on Wilson. Not sure who would do it. Maybe Sean Dion Hamilton. He's quick, but I'm not sure. That's a good question. Everyone can answer that in the chat, though. Appreciate the donation. But yeah, this is a game we can win this game. And yeah, hey, 9 sacks would be absolutely insane. But let's see.
Someone said 9 sacks.
Yeah, someone said 9 sacks.
What?
Hey,
oh, hey, man, I would love that.
the Seahawks fan said, as a Seahawks fan, this game scares me. Your defense is tough. Gonna be fun to watch. Hey, respect. I think this is gonna be a good game, hopefully. And hey, this is a good. Even if we lose this game, it's gonna be a good test for our defense because it's been the first time we've played an elite offense in a while. So want to see what we can do there. Let's see if we can get 5+ sacks. That would be really good, really encouraging. And I'm predicting 4. But here's what I'll say: if this guy Brandon Shell is out, I'll go and update that to 5, maybe even 6, because that's a huge loss for them. And if we can do that and force 1+ turnovers, we could win this game. Again, don't count us out. And like I said, Seahawks fans, I still think you guys are probably going to win that game, but don't get too confident in the first half if you guys are blowing us out, because we are the best second half team in the NFL. So just keep that in mind. You guys might be blowing us out in the first half, but it's probably going to change in that second half. And what I say is, like, for Washington, if we're going into halftime, especially against a good team, down under 10, I'm satisfied with that. I know most people aren't, but I see Washington fans on Twitter all the time saying, oh, in the first half, this game is over. We're going to lose this game. This offense is trash. This defense is overrated. And then in the second half, they're flippy floppy and are talking about how good this team is. I know we're not a first half team, so I prepare myself for that. And as long as we're not getting blown out in the first half, as long as we're losing by less than 10, I feel good about our chances in the second half. And yeah, if we win this game, like Infinite said, we're gonna get we're gonna clinch a first place finish, because if we win a single game, and the Eagles lose a single game, I'm pretty sure they're eliminated. And if we get to 8 against the Giants, there's 0 chance they won the division because they have to win out, and they're not beating the Browns, Ravens, and Cowboys. And hey, we got 140 people in here. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new, and subscribe to Juan Gotti. So, how do you see this game playing out, Juan? Like, kind of like first half, second half type thing.
Well, I mean, you hit it right on the head, man. First half we always start out slow, so that's why I'm like, if this game going into halftime is 13-3, 10-7, maybe even 20-14, just something close in a one possession game, I think we win this game. First half, first drive, I came to accustomed to us not scoring, so it's always painful to watch it be like, yep. First drive again, we don't score again, and that's obviously what we come to realize and come to realization that we don't score and we don't do well in the first half. So once again, I think the team's gonna come out slow. I think it's gonna be as usual what we're used to, coming out slow. Then the second half, we're gonna find a spark, and then we're gonna put ourselves in this game to win. So yeah, that's how I see the game playing out.
Sorry about that. So yeah, we'll see. And in terms of the division race, I mean, again, this game, it would be absolutely amazing if we won this game. It would be amazing. But hey, if we lose this game, the Browns, I really think they're gonna win. I think that the Cardinals are definitely gonna win. I mean, if you look at the Eagles secondary right now, they have like Slays out against D Hop. A couple other guys, Rasul Douglas, I think. Some other guys are out too. So I don't think they're gonna win, and the Cowboys really doesn't matter. As if we get to 7 wins, they're out. So I think 7 wins probably does it. Because if we win 7, it really means that the Giants have to win 2 out of the last 3, and I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely don't think they're going to beat the Ravens. I don't think they're going to beat the Browns, and maybe they'll beat the Cowboys. So, what do you think? Give me your final standing predictions, like your win total predictions. You don't have to necessarily say for the Cowboys, but like Eagles, us, and the Giants.
Honestly, I think that we're going to win a division. And like I said in my video, I said if Haskins goes out here in Seattle or versus Seattle and we pull off the win, start them for the final stretch of the game, which it would be for the final 2, which would be the Panthers and Philly, and then let Alex Smith get healed up, and then he can come back for the wild card game. That would be smart, and that's if Haskins goes out there and win tomorrow. And so I think we really have a legit chance at going 9-7. But I think we're going to finish 8-8 with the division crown. I think New York is going to lose tomorrow. But honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep it a fight. Yeah, Cole McCoy, we know as fans, and we know as seeing Cole McCoy is a very solid backup. So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps it close for like the first half, and then the second half they go out and then the Browns start to dominate. Or I wouldn't even be surprised if the Browns actually just dominate from start to finish. So I don't see them winning that game. And I think who do they have next? I think Baltimore they have next after that. I don't see them beating.
Yep.
I don't see them beating Baltimore, and they finish at Dallas. I see them beating Dallas, so they're probably going to finish 6-10. We finish 8-8. And at worst, I think that we have a good chance at finishing 9-7, especially if we win tomorrow. But I'm gonna go out and say 8-8. I'm gonna say New York finish 6-10. Then I'm gonna say Philly is gonna finish in third place, and I think they actually might win one more game with Jalen Hurts. Hopefully, it's not against us, which I highly doubt. And I think they're gonna go. They're gonna finish? What is their current record right now?
4.
4-9. So 4-9. I think they're going to.
I think they're 4-8-1.
Yeah, 4-8-1. So I think they're probably going to finish. They're going to win one more game, so they're going to be. What is that? 5-10-1. I believe that's 5-10-1.
Yeah.
So they're going to be 5-10-1. I think Dallas is probably going to not win another game left on their schedule. Probably maybe against the 49ers tomorrow, but I don't think they're going to win another game, and they're going to finish bottom of the division.
Yeah. So and hey, shout out to Fun Police, been in here this whole time. Seahawks fan, and he said, great chat, gonna be a fun game. Thanks, guys. 24-21, Washington. So we got and I saw a lot of Seahawks fans actually, even with Dwayne playing, they think it's gonna be a close game. So I think that is telling something. I think it's going to be a close game, and that's all I want. Make it a close game, no blowouts, and hey, could be a blessing in disguise if we have Gibson for our playoff stretch and he's fully healed because a lot of these guys they're all playing beat up. They haven't rested since the bye week. So Gibson he got last week and he's going to get this week, so he's going to get some rest and maybe it would be so amazing if we can clinch the division before that Eagles game and maybe start our starters for the first half and that's it. That would be amazing. Well, are you a fan of that? Like, if we clinch the division, would you want to would you want to start our starters for the full game, or what would you do?
Um, I'm on the limb of keeping them healthy. You know what I'm saying? If we clinch in the division, so yeah, I would want to rest our guys for the playoffs. Is that more than likely to happen? We don't know. We'll wait and see. But yeah, of course, I want to keep them rested. But I have a question for you two after.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was like I said in my video, I was like, Alex Smith is gonna be the starter next season for us at quarterback, and that's the best option for us, man. I really hope Alex is going to be the starting quarterback next year. But all aside, who do you honestly think is going to be the starting quarterback next year? Because like I said, I really want it to be Alex. I hope it's Alex Smith, but I feel like for him, like I said earlier in the stream, this injury is more severe to him, specifically him, because of his surgically repaired leg. I think he'll come back fine, but it'll be worse. It's worse for him because he, obviously had the injury. So who do you think 2021 is going to be under center for the Washington football team week 1, whether that's free agency or draft?
I think it's gonna be Alex. I think that injury does scare me, but the way he was talking about it doesn't seem like that's gonna affect his decision. Unless he's out for the rest of the year, that would change things for me. But at this moment, I think Alex is probably gonna start the year out, and maybe we draft a first round quarterback, maybe trade up and have that guy back him up and be that quarterback in the future because I trust Kyle Smith. I do. So I want him and Ron Rivera, get your guy. Just get your guy, whatever it takes. If that's Mac Jones at 19, okay, that's great. If that's Zach Wilson at 9, that's also great. Let's do that. And we'll see. One more question, and everyone in the chat can go ahead and answer this. And yeah, Infinite, that's what we got to pay that D line. Do you guys think if Colt McCoy, and this is just such a funny question, if Colt McCoy somehow wins this game, for the Browns, and I know Daniel Jones is better than Colt McCoy at the moment, but what would you do if you're the Giants? Because he's won you 2 games against really good teams, and I mean that, and Daniel Jones is still hampered with an injury. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And Juan, what do you think
Oh,
about
man.
Daniel? What's their whole situation?
Well, their whole situation is Daniel Jones dealing with a hamstring, but I don't even think the hamstring is the reason why he's out. Last week versus the Cardinals, he actually got an ankle
Yeah.
sprain in that game. So that's the reason why I believe he's out because he said that he didn't re-aggravate the hamstring. So it was the ankle sprain that's holding him out tomorrow, probably most likely. And for Colt McCoy, I think for their playoff push, because he already went into Seattle, won that game, went into Seattle and led the troops to win that game. Granted, he had help by the defense for majority of the game, but he still was the quarterback of that win. If he wins this game somehow versus the Browns tomorrow, the Giants would be foolish to not start him for the rest of the season. He has 2 of your biggest wins without your starting quarterback on the year to keep your playoffs hopes alive. Daniel Jones came back last week. He didn't look so good. Colt McCoy didn't look so good when he subbed in for that one play, I believe. But if you're telling me, Giants fans, you wouldn't start Colt McCoy after him picking up your 2 biggest wins with your rookie quarterback, or not your rookie quarterback, your second year quarterback, your young quarterback, not 100%. first, you will be putting his career in jeopardy for trying to rush him out for this 1 year. That's your franchise quarterback. Let him sit. Colt McCoy got you the two biggest wins of your season, and down the stretch. So you would be foolish to not start him. But hey, hopefully they make the wrong decision because I want us to win this division.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I just think
Exactly, B9.
um
He said, I hope they give Colt the keys. I'm telling you, Colt McCoy, if they give him the keys, like I said, he's solid. We know as Washington fans, he's okay, but I'm telling you, he's gonna turn the ball over a lot. And I think if he picks up this win tomorrow, it'll help their playoff chances. But at the same time, I don't trust him.
yeah, we'll see. And yeah, it's gonna be tough. We'll see what we do this week. This is gonna be a huge game. If we can win this game, that's a huge win for us. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming in. Make sure you guys check out Juan's channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we get this dub and peace. Appreciate you guys coming in.